Welcome to Rugby Europe Super Cup 2024. Brussels Devils hosting Bohemia Rugby Warriors in Swanee with kickoff just 10 minutes away.
Number 10, Fernandez Guillem. Number 11.
Picture perfect scenes for a key crunch clash in Pool B of this newly formatted Rugby Europe Super Cup. Both the Devils and the Warriors seeking a maiden victory of the campaign, with the Devils coming here off the back of, admittedly, a disappointing performance against the Delta in Amsterdam. As far as the Warriors are concerned, they don't just seek a maiden win of this campaign, they seek their first ever victory in the Super Cup, having joined the competition last year, but signs of improvement after defeat, but gallantly so, against the Romanian Wolves last week. Warriors in white, Devils in black. The toss conducted earlier today between the two captains, both wearing number 8 today, Felipe Gerrity of the Brussels Devils and Dan Hosek of the Warriors. The scene very much set. Conditions perfect here in Swanee at this newly developed arena for rugby in Belgium. And the action has already been underway. And wow, wasn't it dramatic in that last gasp drop goal winning effort from David Wiersma that handed the Delta the first ever victory for a Netherlands team on Romanian soil. And it has blown the group wide open in Pool B. This new split pool system that sees all these 4 teams meet each other in ranking points. Delta top of the log and pretty much guaranteed to be in that final showdown, potentially against the Wolves, but a victory for either Warriors or Devils today with another round of fixtures to come means that the placings will be pretty much wide open come the final round. Confirmation of those weather conditions as if you needed, having seen it with your own eyes. We won't get a drop of rain, but it will be hot and steamy out there in 25-degree heat in Swanee.
To be more disciplined and to be clean on the basics, strong on the scrum, strong on the lineouts, and more aggressive in defense because we play against a strong team and we need to move forward all the time.
Thank you. Dear Anthony, how have the preparations gone for the second game? What did you work on to win today?
Yeah, we work on defensive lineouts because against Wolves we received 3 tries in the first half. So we work on this and also like global defense because we need to go from the defense to attack. So second half was good. So our defense was better. So we hope we can continue like this.
Thank you.
Two sides coming into the contest, having tasted defeat, but very, very different mantras off the back of those losses. For the Devils, it was disappointment, a tough defeat to take, and looking for great improvement, whilst the Warriors take heart from giving the best team in the group a run for their money. This is how the Devils will shape up today, with Simon Rimac celebrating his 23rd birthday today, accompanied by Captain Felipe Gerrity, the captain in the back row. Men in the back line to watch: Guillaume Piron and Oscar van Boxelaar. A bit of excitement in the fullback jersey. For the Warriors, Adam Martinek and Maxime Aschenbrenner with the try scorers last week. Lucas Brada offers a bit of danger on the other wing, and Dan Hosek leads wearing the 8 jersey in the pack. Well, these are the benches, and you see some very familiar names amongst the Devils replacements, likely Robin Vermeesch, so often the talisman for the Devils, whilst there is a host of young Warriors set to make an impression and potentially a name for themselves as impact players 16 to 23. Here they come, the Brussels Devils and the Bohemia Warriors, ready to duel again in the Rugby Europe Super Cup for the 3rd time in their history. Can these Warriors do what no Bohemia side has done before and emerge victorious from a Super Cup contest? They are a team, they're a nation with an upward trajectory. The Devils have a lot to prove on home soil.
Captain Felipe Garatti. I want to hear some applause for our referee from Moldova. Referee Evgeny Prokopi. Second, Anatol Tupa. And third, Victor Lungu. Now assisted today is number 4 referee Adel.
The team's weights expectant, as are the crowd here amassed in Swanee in anticipation of another thrilling Rugby Europe Super Cup contest. Delta and Wolves have laid down the marker. The Devils and the Warriors will look to pick up the baton as Eugeniu Prokopi of Moldova is the man in the middle. Well, this is a new split pool system for the Rugby Europe Super Cup. In Pool A, Black Line are looking to continue with their grip on the Rugby Europe Club crown, whilst in Pool B, it is finally poised with the ball in the Warriors' hands with their number 10, Tristan Horak, ready to commence. Well, some final moments to contemplate the contest to come. Referee Popkovic just checks all's in order, both sides of the ball.
Time on.
Tristan Horak and the Bohemia Warriors kick us off into Devils' hands for another round of the Rugby Europe Super Cup in Swanee. The Brussels Devils changing their strip from the week before, going with the black jerseys and thin white hoops.
And use it!
These two sides know each other well, having met on 2 occasions last season. The Devils victorious in both.
Retreat,
The Bohemia
retreat.
Warriors a growing force, so too is rugby in Czechia generally. That's beautifully done by Horak, who chases down his own kick, and
Roll away, number 2.
no roll
Number 2.
coming from Asta van Nieuwenhoven. Means that Tristan Horak will get an early shot at the poles here, and a fantastic start for these Bohemia Warriors.
You're good. Tackle good.
Well, Horak has a bit of form in picking up points against the Devils. A penalty and a conversion as both these sides broke new ground in bringing the Super Cup to Czechia for the first time in its history last season. Looking to add to his haul last week against the Romanian Wolves. Nice sounding strike, but pulled to the left of the upright. And Horak spurns an early opportunity for points for the Warriors.
Kicker, behind, please. Behind, please.
Well, the joy of the goal line dropout is I get the ball back and they get to attack through Lukasz Brada. Man of South African skills, having spent a bit of time there honing his craft. Big exponent of sevens. Horak, beautiful chip and another collect from the 10. But he spills as the contact comes in. And the Devils will finally get a bit of ball in their own hands here. Well, Tristan Horak is certainly showing that he's got a box of tricks that he is comfortable in delving into early. 2 nice aerial claims, just mixing things up in terms of the attack, but on this occasion,
Shoulder up, please.
gifting an opportunity
Yeah, thank you.
to the Devils with Ben Ruddick
Crouch!
with his hands on the ball. Very young halfback pairing for the Devils today, with Ruddick and Fernandez Grau outside of him in the 10 jersey, both coming through the age group system. Both involved in the Rugby Europe Under-18s Championships last November, fittingly in Prague at the Marketa Stadium. And there's great optimism for this Devils side. For Belgian rugby generally, it's a really young starting 15 today, and plenty of youth on the bench as well. And in that competition, it was a narrow loss to Romania, comprehensive win against Switzerland, and finally defeat to the Netherlands. And we all know how they're getting on through their age group systems, having won the under-20s most recently.
Yeah.
But the young Axis launches a strike for the Devils before they go to these clear, crisp blue skies.
From outside. Brought in. Back. Retreat.
Devils re-engage with the kicking game. Good chase, good pressure, and now we'll get a bit of play as we set up just on the doorstep of the halfway line. Low hits coming in from the Devils.
Wait, stop.
Well watched, well claimed. And the Devils look to exploit the fringes. Forwards, showing a deftness of touch out there in the back line. Van Nieuwenhoven Another impact. Here looking for the outside arc, engaging a couple of defenders, and Barashki has to work hard the outside centre. Good continuity this from the Devils. But the defence of the Warriors proving a match. Ruddick spots a bit of green grass. Might look to get the roll as well. The bounce is unlucky.
Wide,
Retreat! So unpredictable. But that is a really nice clearance from a tight angle under a fair bit of pressure. And the Wolves survive the early Devils onslaught.
White, here's a mark. First man. White. 1 meter, please.
First line out of the match. Taken smartly by the captain, Geraghty. Bit of a looping, floating ball that no one really wanted to take up high. Ruddick on the sweep around, lovely interplay, and then the final ball to the edge. Devils flowing down the right before a ricochet off the shins. Brings it to a halt, really enterprising stuff down the narrow side.
White, please.
But ultimately, coming to nothing. Clean line-out ball once again off the top. They go looking for that seam between the tail gunner and the fly half. The Devils beginning to find their groove here as they look to burst into the 22 for the first time. They break the threshold. Ruddock drives the tempo. More smart hands moving out to the right. Nice offload. Just as he was being lifted in the tackle.
Knock on. No potential line break, but deliberate knock on.
The hand coming out and just a bit of a
deliberate knock on White.
A nod of admission.
Post. Kick at post.
He was the guilty party, and Guillem Fernandez-Grau
Here's the mark.
Has no hesitation in opting for a kick at goal for the first points of the match.
Got 40 seconds.
Fernandez-Grau, who's playing his rugby at the moment for Kituro. Very much one of these up-and-comers at just 19 years of age. Strikes it cleanly, strikes it pure. First points of the match for the Devils from the boots of Guillem Fernandez-Grau. The home side into the lead. Steepling kick into the 22. It's actually spilt by the pod that was lifted, but the crumbs swept up well. Speaking of, well, Ruddick has shown up very well indeed. This 18-year-old. Humps the laces through the box and carries the Devils way beyond the halfway line. It is a really quite assured start by the young scrum half.
Black here, please. Yep. Advantage block.
Advantage to the Devils as the first line out from Karel Deiter doesn't quite go to plan. Just a pump from the base picks out the pass, juggle off the bombs, and it's kind of worked out well as a nice angle is cut just to straighten the line. Warriors, a little passive in their line speed, and Ruddock spots that. He brings in the back division again. Nice thrash through the tackle, just fighting for those extra meters post-content. Travels backwards. Ruddock likes the look of things, has a bit of biff about him too as he sits down the opposition back row. Devils, long ball to the edge, flat the call, and the tackle's coming in low.
Go.
2 in the contact this time from the Warriors. They must defend those fringes because Ruddock is sniffing. Posing a threat. Heavy, heavy line coming in. But isolated after the low chop tackle and forced to hold on. And the Warriors survive another Devils attack. That'll be a big confidence boost for the men in white.
Time off. Okay. Wait, time off. Come on. There's a mark. No, water. Gents, black water off, please. No.
Well, the water carriers urged from the field. So often a scourge on the fluidity
before coming forward
of a contest, something that World Rugby are really keen to
wait,
drive out of the game. As you see here now, all that time lost, all that momentum as well for the Warriors, who put in a good defensive knock there to earn the penalty. They go to the front, they hoist up Vit Malish, but the gap had already been closed by the Devils. A free kick here for the Warriors. And Horak is going to put the bomb up. Maybe not as much distance as he would have liked. That is majestically claimed. No one wanted to put a name on it, but the man sailing from the backfield. And that impetus is serving the Devils well here as they carry into white defensive jerseys. Good hit coming in from Mirashki.
Tackle!
The Slavia Praha man. Fernandez. Just shipping it on to Tom Colomb.
Advantage white.
Lost travelling into the contacts. Advantage for the Warriors. Real battle there on the floor, making things uncomfortable for the Warriors. They need to get a few more bodies in there. And they do. And Foyty flips it out.
And use it! Scrum advantage over.
That's an interesting ball, really contestable, but beautifully claimed
Backwards.
Once again by the Devils.
Back by white. It's out, it's out. Tackle white! Thank you.
It's dogged from both sides at the breakdown right now. Big left shoulder arriving from Jakob Holmer, the Richani player in the second row. But the hands so zippy from the Devils. They're playing with great adventure out in the wide channels. Here's Colomb. Stopped in his tracks. For the going is tough for the Devils as Roman Sklensky introduces himself to the Devils. An indiscretion after the hit came in means that Fernandez is going to get an opportunity to pump this one as deep into the Warriors 22 as he can. Not his finest effort. Horak, who is
mark.
A 10th generation South African, but
Right,
his
let's go.
surname harks all the way back to Czechia in Horak. Another member of this side who play their rugby for Ricciani.
Mo!
That man.
Good, 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 good.
Who's taking it there
Just
is
once.
Cologne. Looking down the short side, Ruddock receives it back, chipped over the top, and, well, it is taken by
Retreat
Horak.
right.
Just a juggle
Okay.
on the halfway line. Here's one of the danger men for the Devils. Brilliantly dragged down. That's
Advantage.
Martin
Side entry.
Malven.
Side entry 14.
Maren wants it back. The sevens flyer flashes down the left edge, breaks through one, 6
No,
meters shy,
no.
as close as the Devils have been. Warriors told by the referee to retreat there in that
Use
ruck.
it.
Well, it's slow ball. And Jonas
No.
van den Bosche is there. Now the big boys
It's fine. He was there.
put themselves to work. Ruddick flips it one out. Coming round the corner, the forwards. This time it's Garrity.
Advantage. Knock on.
Knocked on
Release block.
in the contact by the Devils and claimed quite
Onside block.
magnificently as well. Instincts on the line from the Warriors. And a fine, fine clearance means that Guillaume Fernandez can only watch on. And once again, the Warriors' defence a match to the Devils' attack.
Wide here, please.
The ball squirted out, wasn't quite looked after as well as it should, and Dan Hosek is the oldest member of this starting 15 for the Czechs.
Good.
Straight into it, but the ball just about claimed by the
Tackle release
Devils.
wide.
Has to go
Good,
through a
available.
few pairs of hands and bat it around like volleyball style. Hosek gets blasted through by the run from the Devils forwards. Beautiful offload there from Fernandez, getting the chicken wing working. And Van den Bosche puts his hand up for a meaty carry. He gets given short shrift on the
16.
perimeter of the 22.
16, roll away.
No roll from Karol Kaita,
16.
even though Thomas Adamek had his paw in there, clawing it back. And this is precisely where Fernandez
16, roll
got
away.
the first and only points of the match.
Where's the player? Post.
And he'll get given an opportunity to do it again. Well, the hands in the ruck were dubious, shall we say. But actually, it was Karol Kaita, the hooker wearing 16, who drew the blast of the whistle. A couple of front rows who could have been penalised there, but as it is Fernandez. It is a carbon copy of his first attempt. And an opportunity to double the lead. Fernandez doesn't blink. He slots the penalty, 2 from 2. The Brussels Devils lead Bohemia Warriors 6 points to 0 with just shy of a quarter of the match played. Horak pings it long into the 22 of the Devils. The kicking game, both sides, has been impressive
Only
so
one player
far.
on. Good.
Borak
Wait,
once
wait,
again
wait. Step in.
gets under the kick. He chases hard, but isn't able to stretch his fingertips to it. Good support play being offered by Geraghty and co. On the ball, Hosek. Well, he was clearly on. The cavalry arrived, but it was too late.
Is the
And it's
second, and then again.
brilliant breakdown work
Just
from the
positive first.
captain. Horak deploys the cannon on his right foot once again. Big territorial gain for the Warriors and a rare opportunity to launch an attack in the Devils' half. Shorten line out. Foyty sees a bullet off the top. And off go the Warriors.
Height is good. Tackle, low.
Sklensky battered back. Second phase comes and now the hands are looking fast, looking slick for the Warriors, but they run out of pitch. Martin Maren. Muscular presence in the centres.
Let's go, gents, please. White, first man.
Interesting centre pairing for the Brussels Devils today. Martin Maren, Belgian Sevens international, played in the Challenger Series, was very prominent in the Rugby Europe Championship that went to Makaska and Hamburg
Good height.
earlier in the summer. He's partnered with Guillaume Piron, who's in his first year back in Belgian rugby, having been plying his trade in France at the likes of Colomiers, spent a bit of time in Montpellier as well, and Blagnac. First year back, 32 years old, and back into Super Cup contention.
Push back, Black. Use it.
Outstanding kick, so well weighted for the chase and nice and tight to the touchline. It was a late shimmy of the hips that meant the recipient didn't get absolutely wiped out.
Advantage.
Well, for all their possession, the Devils are struggling to capitalise with it because the Warriors' defence is really holding firm. Black hands called out. Foyty chips it away, but the move breaks down.
White. Time off.
Well, the Warriors may be resolute in defence right now. They need to get some phases together. They need to be patient. They need to be more precise.
Prima window. Prima window.
Frustration there for Dominik Svoboda. Five-time capped Czech international prop. Just a sight of the Czech flag there as well, and a good opportunity to talk about sort of where they're travelling as a rugby nation as well. Many of the smaller nations in rugby terms around the world, they're constantly in a battle with resources and finances, but they're having a far longer reach through the junior ranks in international terms. They've got influence all the way down to the under 14s. They've adapted their national competition so that it competes in the springtime now in Czechia, so that they can release the best players, not just for internationals, but for the Super Cup. And you only have to look at their women and what a huge success their Sevens program has been in recent years. They went to Monaco, they finished 4th in the Olympic qualifier, Men's national team has been
Thank you.
a lot more competitive in the Rugby Europe trophy. So as far as the Bohemia Warriors are concerned, it is doing the job. It's doing the job of growing
Set!
a wider Czechia rugby picture. And they travel from the base. Nice release just as the hit came in. Roman Sklensky arrives on the shoulder of Alex Young, but too much exuberance on the clear out from Jan Foyty. Means that the moment's gone again for the Warriors, and it's immensely frustrating. And they punish to the tune of a line out to defend on their 22.
Mark. Two.
Asta van Nieuwenhove
Stay.
goes to the tail and goes well.
No,
Here comes the drive
They were unbound.
from the
It's
Devils.
available.
Both the Devils and the Warriors susceptible to the rolling maul last week in defeat. The Devils also very adept at deploying that as a weapon. Ruddick finds a runner. Back to the left. Very much feels like Ruddick's dictating the play, and Fernandez is playing a more muted role as the half-back pairing.
Push back.
Maren goes first receiver, darts back inside, shimmies the hips. But ultimately, surrenders the penalty. And again, no way through for the
Fair
Devils.
contest. Holding on.
The Warriors' defense stubborn as ever.
Back here, please.
Carol Keighton, just 22.
Advantage.
Sees
Knock on by
the Warriors' pocket picked, and looks like it's been feathered forward from a white hand as well. They need to watch down the short side, and they
No advantage.
just
There was knock on
about
in the
do.
air.
Foyty snagging the Devils' captain. Just
Knock
spotted
on
a
in the air by
glimpse
White.
of unguarded territory down the narrow side.
On the line. Stay left. Yeah.
Advantage is being played though. Warriors scrums held up well. You look at the age profile. Adamek, 25, Keita, 22, Svoboda, 21. They're up against 30-year-old Van der Bosche, 28-year-old Nieuwenhove, and 30-year-old De Hallo. A lot of experience, there's a lot of internationals in there. And Warriors holding their own, very much so. It was a real sort of source of discomfort for the Warriors when they met in the group stage last year in the competition. It was the first time Super Rugby had ever come to Czechia.
Bind!
And while Bohemia Warriors went toe-to-toe for much of the first half,
Early push.
the Devil scrum,
Number one. Number one.
scrum by scrum, dismantled them, and it took its toll. This may take its toll. Siding through the middle, the wheels from Egamon. Egamon, utterly determined to travel to the line. Ruddick finds a runner, hurtling into white jerseys. The best the Devils have looked, just a little fumble from Cologne. One more dart from Fernandez. Lovely
Advantage,
feet
sorry.
just to deceive
Go
the defence.
Advantage.
No roll from the Warriors. So the Devils
away.
may roll the dice.
Roll away wide.
Not even an opportunity to use the advantage.
Go, Devils, go! Go, Devils, go!
But it all came from the break from Julien Egamont. Another Belgian sevens international, bringing his pace into the move.
The tackler didn't roll away. The tackle was good, but the tackler should. Oh, the scrum.
And the Brussels
Don't push
Devils
the foot.
here have a gilt-edged opportunity to score. 5-metre scrum in the shadow of the Warriors' uprights.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Fernandez with Piron on the shoulder. The forwards grind through the gears. They look to obliterate the Bohemians' advantage. But the captain may just go it alone. He wrestles and writhes and twists to the line.
Use it.
Still, the Devils are denied.
Stay on the line.
As close as they could possibly be. One more carry may just do it. They battered away at the Bohemians, and eventually the dam bursts. The Devils flood through, and they have their try from point-blank range. And it's Jonas van den Bosche.
For the kick. 70 seconds.
The pressure had to tell. It simply had to tell. They had penalty advantage. They had the line in their sights, and the combo of Van den Bosche and De Hallo shunting his fellow prop forward proved too much. And the Devils finally have their try. Light work for the boots of Guillaume Fernandez. And the Brussels Devils have their try. They have it converted. And they lead the Warriors 13 points to 0.
Good. On the ground. Inside.
8.5 minutes
Use
for
it.
the Warriors
9.
to respond in this half.
Touched. Touched.
Ruddick, one of the standout individuals, has his box kick touched, and it's really poorly dealt with. Grossly mismanaged by the Warriors, who've heaped more pressure upon themselves.
First, yeah, it was first.
It needed an
first touch.
authoritative name. It needed
It was
decisive
touched by White.
decision
It was touched in
making.
the air by White. It was touched in the air, so I think Diallo and I are a caller. Yeah.
But neither came.
There's your marker.
And the Devils may just fancy another score before the
I
break.
can't see. Time off. You good? Time on. Da, eu am comunicat asta. Tu ascult, mă, eu am comunicat asta.
Moldovan officiating party keeping things motoring along here in Swanee. The Devils looking to motor their way towards the Bohemian line. Good meters gained. Forwards carry on. Maren, who's probably the sparkiest of the Devils attackers so far today. Low hit coming in from Harak needed to be made. Knocked on by the Warriors, so more advantage for the Devils to play with. Ruddick.
No hands wide.
Finds one of his big lads. Travels.
Good.
Cutting two.
Advantage over.
You do worry about
Come
that
advantage
fringe
over.
defence for the Warriors. It looks a little sparse.
Release
Good
it.
carry back.
It's available.
That's one
No.
way to hoover up the mess. Fernandez zips one
Backwards.
across. Oh, it was almost picked off by Aschenbrenner.
Tackle!
He got an intercept score last week against the Wolves, but it slips from his grasp. Devils battling through the challenges of
All
the
the way.
Warriors. Fernandez, so many big gaps in that back line. Martin Marin is the kind of player who feeds off that kind of room. Fernandez to the toe. Not precise enough. Nice idea with the black jerseys pouring through, but the execution found wanting.
Let's go. Come on, son. 6. Back 10, please.
Keita,
Good contact,
22-year-old
good contact.
student. His time finds his
what,
man.
Black,
Again, it's Messi from the Warriors. Who right now, you just have a feeling,
No
would be
block.
happy getting to half-time, having not conceded any more
Use
points.
it. Brought in, brought in.
The carry back in means that the clearance can't go straight out. Unforgivably allowed to bounce by the Devils' backfield department, and the Warriors profit. Foyty. Smart hands, zipped out by
Advantage.
Miraski
In
to the
front.
5-meter channel, but knocked on, an advantage being played to the Devils.
Offside.
Compounded as well with the player in front collecting the knock-on, so offside, and it'll be a penalty to the Devils.
Dan, captain. We're not talking about the law now. We're going to explain about the... Yeah, guys, let's not forget about the values of the game, okay? After the whistle's gone, we stop, okay? Yeah, we get back to the penalty was offside from the kick, okay? Yeah. Wait, you have a player down.
Decorum reinstated.
That's it.
Status quo too as well. The Devils are in the Warriors 22. And this would be a real
Vision mark
boon for the hosts, were they to register some more points here on the cusp of half-time. Van Nieuwenhoven
First.
goes to the front.
Back.
The Devils break loose.
It's fine. No, it was
Well,
good.
carried in a bit
Too well.
high and wore a shoulder to the face. The man has stayed down. Referee was happy with the collision. Tom Calon. All squirts out. Might have worked out nicely for the Devils. The hits come in. That's Hosek with the big shoulder. Here are the Devils once again looking to bludgeon their way across the line. Ruddick slows things up. Finds a forward.
Get back.
They need to watch these fringes, but they need to watch the wide channels too. There's threats everywhere for the Devils right now. And Guillaume Pirlon, he's back, and he bangs across for Belgium once again. The lead extended, and the Devils in full command.
But I got it.
The speed of the ball too quick. Runners from depth. So difficult to pick up. David Miraski asked far too much in that outside centre channel. And his opposite man picking the perfect line, the try-scoring line. And Fernandez, true to type, does not miss. 100% from the tee and 100% performance in this first half from the Brussels Devils. They lead the Bohemian Warriors 20 points to 0 with halftime beckoning.
One and a half.
90 seconds remaining of the first half. Brussels Devils in full control, leading the Bohemia Rugby Warriors 20 points to 0.
No, 6, no, no! White, no! No! Block formed.
The instruction, it was clear, it was loud.
30 seconds.
And right now, the Warriors aiding in their own downfall in terms of their discipline. The boot of Fernandez has punished them in terms of points from the tee twice. And now he does so territorially as the Devils make it beyond the halfway line. The Belgian international, Romain Pants, is on at prop wearing 18. A replacement in force. There he is at the back. Not called into action just yet. And, well, he may be now. No, there won't be time for the scrum. An error from Fernandez, maybe not the fitting manner for which the half should end in terms of him and the Devils, because it has been pretty impressive. They've grown throughout the half. Their grip on the contest has tightened. Their precision has increased with every second. And at half-time here in Swanee, the Brussels Devils lead Bohemia Warriors 20 points to 0. Half-time in Swanee. Brussels Devils 20, Bohemia Rugby Warriors 0. Well, that's how the scoring unfolded, and it was a quiet start in terms of that scoring, with the boot of Guillaume Fernandez delivering scant reward really for a lot of the dominance, both territorially and possession-wise, for the Devils. But as the game developed, so too did the Devils attack, and close range try from the big prop Jonas van den Bosche, and a close range strike from the outside centre Guillaume Piron, both maximised by Fernandez. Is the reason why the Brussels Devils are sitting pretty at the break, leading 20 points to 0. 2 tries, 2 conversions, 2 penalties, just return, and illustrative of the Brussels Devils being very much the team on top here on home soil. Tristan Horak got us underway And it was the Devils showing great adventure out in the wide channels early, looking a lot more consummate, and he has been very impressive indeed. Ben Ruddick, the 18-year-old halfback, fearless in terms of what he is trying to instigate in attack. And his fellow youngster forming the other half of that attacking axis. Guillem Fernandez has struck true from the tee. This was one of many bursts into the Warriors 22. They defended resolutely for much of it, desperately at times in fact. But you can only do so for so long, and eventually they cracked. And it was the might of Jonas van den Bossche, assisted by Jean-Sébastien de Hallo, which proved too muscular for Martinek and co to repel. Another try came late in the half from the returning Guillaume Piron. And with Fernandez on target from the tee, the Brussels Devils head into the half-time huddles with a handsome lead. Welcome back to Swanee, the home of Belgium and Brussels rugby for this weekend in the Rugby Europe Super Cup. The visitors are from Czechia. It's the Bohemia Warriors who've come to town, and right now they are trailing 20 points to 0 at the break. And we've had a game today, a thriller, an absolute epic with a last-minute drop goal handing victory famously to the Delta against the Romanian Wolves, but a blockbuster finish to the Rugby Europe Super Cup action this evening as the Lusitanos host the Black Lion in Pool A in a match that can have a huge bearing on where the championship will go this season. It's a magnificent setting, isn't it, here in Swanee? And this was host, actually, to the Belgian Championship finals with Dendermonde besting Swanee on a fantastic day where it wasn't just the men's senior sides, but it was the women's finals, and it was all the age group finals stretching back to the under-14s, a true festival of rugby when the finals came to town here earlier in the year, and really very much fixturing itself as a hub for all things rugby in Belgium as they look to develop the game further. And well, developing it they are. Who could forget some of the national side and the Super Cup side's performances this year and last season. You just have to look at the progression of both Belgian rugby and that of the Netherlands, represented by the Delta in Super Cup, and as well for Bohemia Warriors representing Czechia, and the growth year on year that we're seeing across Europe. Some fresh faces look to have taken to the pitch. Jakub Havel of Ricciani on wearing 20 in the back row. And he has a big second half if he's going to have a say in turning the tide of this match. It's one that the Brussels Devils are in full control of. Guillaume Fernandez and the Brussels Devils kick into the arms of the Bohemia Rugby Warriors, with the hosts, the Devils, leading 20 points to 0 at the beginning of this second half. Lucas Hittil is on for Vid Malish in the second row, looking to add a bit of oomph. They've been worked incredibly hard defensively in this first 40 minutes, the Warriors.
Good contest.
Looking to have an effect in the line out there, the replacement, Jakub Havel. Good work from Keita.
Use it 9.
The hooker working hard to make the tackle, and that's gone up, and this is a chance to counter. This is how the Bohemian Warriors like it, and they've opened up through Brada on this left edge. Pop off the floor.
Tackle release.
Good wits about him, Havel, who's got a couple of early impacts since coming in off the bench. That's what he would have been told they wanted from him. Back to the left-hand side, go the Warriors. Boot to ball, chase to the line, an awkward bounce, and the dream start to the second half. Jan Vojtik, the man to finish a sweeping move that surged down the left edge. Wow, what a start from the Bohemia Warriors, right back into the contest with barely 90 seconds on the clock. Desperation from his opposite man, Ben Ruddick, but the perfect, mischievous kick in from the left boot of Adam Martinek. And Jan Vojtik, the glad recipient. And we've got a game on our hands. No extras to add for Horak, but points on the board for the Warriors.
Can you unplug and plug back in? Yes, unplug and plug it through back. Akuma? 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it off.
First points of the match for Bohemia Rugby Warriors. The deficit reduced. And the Brussels Devils leading 20 points to 5. Back to the halfway line.
No, you cannot hear me.
And ready to recommence this second half. There's a few technical issues with the communication system for the officiating team.
Thank you, gents. Time on.
Guillaume Fernandez gets us back underway.
Back.
Batted back, brilliantly won the aerial battle there.
Maul.
More called. Warriors can hold on to this. Oh, Ruddick will be kicking himself.
Knock on.
It's been one of the most eye-catching parts of his game, the 18-year-old scrum half. He's had his head on a swivel. He hasn't just shipped the ball out, and maybe that's because he is so in tune with his fellow age grade fly half, Guillaume Fernandez, but he hasn't lacked confidence in traveling with the ball, attacking the fringes, looking down the short side. But on this occasion, maybe his eyes raising a beat too soon, knocked on in the act of picking up to sweep down that right side. And here, it was his effort in vain as Jan Foytik got on the end of very pleasingly bouncing, awkward ball as far as the Czechs were concerned. That's the line that every good scrum half should be running. The support inside, and the reward, the try.
Yeah, but you have to go out. Can't do now.
Well, next up for both these sides,
Thank you.
in Pool B, is the Delta and
Time on.
the Wolves, who played earlier today. It's going to be the Bohemia Warriors taking on the Delta next Friday night at 7:30 Central European time in Amsterdam. That, of course, you will find on Rugby Europe's channels, whilst the remaining Wolves will host the Brussels Devils on Saturday afternoon. That'll be the last round of the pool phase, with the final placings determining who will play who in the classifications. First will play second, third will play fourth. Given the two opening losses for both these sides, a lot of people's expectation is that they will meet again in a couple of weeks. However, we all know how unpredictable this tournament can be. We've all seen the improvement of both the Devils and the Warriors, and an upset is always on the cards. Bit of width thrown wide and asks for the stretch of the fingertips, and well, too many nibbles added on the floor and looking to place it. Flings his head back, but I think he knows as well he was holding on there. Tristan Horak is kicked well out of hand today. It's from the tee that his kicking has let him down a touch. A long-range effort from close to the halfway line in the opening minutes of the match was pulled to the left of the upright, and then the conversion
was good, eh?
pushed across the face
Was good, okay.
of the post. And you look at those 5 points and it makes things a lot more interesting. Conversely, Guillaume Fernandez has been flawless with 4 kicks from 4 and a total of 10 points. The boot truly can be the difference sometimes.
White, stop.
Karol Keita is wearing 16, but he was He was on at the very start, a late jersey switch with Kickoff Zeman, who, when he comes off the bench, will be wearing 2.
Time on.
He hasn't had it all his own way as far as the line-out's concerned, Kaita. So he goes with a bit of length and he misses his man. The Devils in transition, beautiful pass, skips out the Warriors' defence, but it's a wonderful read from Ashen Brenner. Forward pass, you hear the gasp of the crowd who felt it was on. And it's an escape for the Warriors, escape for Karel Kaita.
Forward pass.
A large part of that is with thanks to Maxim Aschenbrenner. He took the gamble, he came in off that right wing and he shut down that space that opened up. They had about 20, 25 meters to play with on that left-hand side. A lot of gas out there with the likes of Julien Egermont and Lucas Michiels, who've been kept relatively quiet. Egermont with an eye-catching break in the first half, who you see stationed there on the inside shoulder wearing 11. Wojtek, the try scorer, ships it out, and it's a first carry in the midfield from Miraski. One of real purpose. There's Horak taking it on himself. Gets wrapped up and driven back, but it's there again for the Warriors. They need to put some phases together. Late tip into the arms of Hitil, the replacement lock. More called by the referee, frees up his hands, and the offload is brilliant. Wojtek under real duress and then swatted away. Adamek, great strength from the prop. Horak off the boot of Young, ricochets off the legs, and all of a sudden the Warriors are back in their half. Aschenbrenner does excellently. Tell you what, if the Warriors can go wide here, it is on for them. Just the hesitation gives enough time for the black jerseys to resource the line once again. A dance inside, bouncing off the feet, Martinek. Wojtek. Oh, not much pressure on that take. A gift for the Warriors and a midfield scrum on the 22 to come.
Substitutions. Number 5 black and 13 black. Number 5.
Vermeesch.
Yeah. Number 9 white, substitution, 9.
Is on for Yannick Linknecht, the second row.
3 and 1 white. Number 1 and number 3 white substitutions.
After an industrious afternoon,
And
Guillaume Piron,
16.
the try scorer, the man returning to Belgian rugby, is off as well. Nicolas Hoyer, wearing 21, is on for the Warriors, and Jakub Kral and Radek Novotny as well in the front row.
Thank you.
Yeah. A few more miles on the scrummaging clock, these two, 30 and 32 respectively. They bank up either side of Kickoff Zeman, so an entirely new front row for the Warriors. A new scrum half in Hoyer.
Set.
The scrum immediately in reverse, but illegally
Number 18,
so.
driving up. Keep it low.
Roman Pants are judged to have been driving up, and,
Kick at post.
well, the sensible call here is the upright.
Number 18.
Tristan
Change
Horak
the angle, please.
will be
Drive
charged.
forward.
We're just chiseling into this Belgian lead a little more.
Good, yeah. Okay.
Tristan Horak makes no mistake, and the Bohemia Warriors are within 2 scores of the Brussels Devils. No points for the Devils in this second half. It has been one-way scoreboard traffic. And will the Warriors begin to believe?
That's it.
Booming left-footed clearance all the way back. Van Boxelaar slices it off the boot, and well, it's a decent territorial gain, but arguably wanting to keep it in field and chase with a bit of pressure. The Warriors will launch from the halfway line. Well, the change in front row, particularly Hooker, hasn't had any change in the outcome of the line-outs. Beautiful travel from Ruddick, invites the black jerseys. That pass had to go back inside to the scrum half. Instead, the Devils reset. Instead, the Devils look to go left. Martin Maren, such a slippery customer out in the centres. Here's Del Cipe. Here are the Devils. Here they are, out to the right edge. Fine, slick hands, one more offload. Did it need to go?
Not fun.
The final pass not sticking.
Hand was in there.
And the chance spurned by the Devils. It was wonderful hands all the way to the paint on the right-hand side.
Captain, Dan.
The Devils looked as if they were in. They went for one more offload. And it was one offload too many. And the Warriors survived by the skin of their teeth.
18. Low, thank you.
Well, maybe he would have been driven into touch. It was brilliant scramble defense. But the Warriors aren't safe yet.
Crouch!
Scrum on their 5 meters.
Bind!
Driven back.
Set!
The last time the front row's engaged, but illegally so. Roman Pants doesn't get a chance to turn the screw because it's swiftly raced away by Dan Hosek, who carries from 8. Brilliant carry, in fact. Meters and an angle, but the charge down comes. The black jerseys flood through, and it is an outrageous pickup on the bootstraps by Nestor Yandran. But he's knocked it on.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'd love to see that again. It looked as if it was miraculous from the open side flanker.
Gent. Up. It was knock on in goal. It's a 0. Drop out. It was in goal, okay? It's a drop out.
But the knock-on call coming from the assistant and also in goal. So instead of having a scrum, it'll be a goal line clearance. And probably have to say that that suits the Warriors that bit more. The scrum is looking increasingly under pressure. And Horak doesn't get the cleanest of connections, and it sits up perfectly, and all of a sudden the Devils are on the doorstep again. Fernandez looks for width, gives the ball some oxygen out wide. That looked forward, and referee Popkapi agrees.
Forward pass. Time off, substitutions.
And we come back.
11 wide, substitution.
For the scrum,
11.
after a few replacements, Lukas Brada, he just turned 19 a couple of weeks ago, has had his last impact on the match. So Adam Putna is on, and this was a bit of the mayhem. Let's take a look at this pickup. Oh, tantalising.
Knock on.
The fly hack through, and it must have been the attempted dot down. Here's Putna. Braced to make an impact. Brada wasn't afforded much opportunity on the ball. Will it be different for Putna? He goes in at 10, and it looks like back has shifted to outside centre with Alex Young maintaining his position at inside centre. Plays his rugby for Camberley in England, the Squirrels as they're known. But it is all about the Warriors right now, and a bit of pep in their step in the outside channels. Head on a swivel from Hoyer, looks down the short side but opts to go for space, and the Warriors swallowed up by the Devils. They get some penalty advantage though, and they'll roll the dice. A lot of nice shapes there, and they find the edge.
Number 7.
Nothing comes of it, so back to the penalty advantage.
Slipped up.
Just a message to Giandrin. Just clipping the touchline as the ball came inside. That is as good a touch as you'll see anywhere across the continent this season. A cannon from the laces of Tristan Horak, and he has surged the Warriors to within 7 meters of the Devils line.
And he just stops there.
Alarm bells ringing for the Devils. No points in the second half. It's been all Warriors. And the Bohemia boys finally claim a line out, and they build a maul. They look to drive. They look to bully their way to the Brussels line. It begins to sweep round to the left and break up, and there's some Devils tentacles in amongst the melee of bodies.
Use it wide.
Can the Warriors dig it out?
Black ball now. It was lost in the air.
But you hear there, black ball called, and with it being a maul,
the ball regathered the possession, and a new maul was formed.
It means it'll be a Warriors put in from 5 meters out. Great period of pressure here for Bohemia.
Your player took the ball, but he's the ball carrier now. He's the ball carrier now. Time off. You have another player here.
The game has turned on its head in this second half.
Let's go, gents. Time off.
The outlook was bleak for Bohemia after 40 minutes, trailing 20 points to 0. Not much of a sniff of an attack of real purpose or real try-scoring credibility, but now with a try, now with a penalty, and now, once again, knocking on the door of the Devil.
Bind!
But they don't even get the opportunity to scrum for their chance. Desperately disappointing for Bohemia. Breakfoot's the call on the replacement hooker, Christoph Zeman, which you would have to say is probably out of fear for the pressure to come from what is looking like an increasingly dominant Devils front row. But it was just a free kick, so this will be a Warriors throw. Can they get their line out functioning? Can they give themselves a platform?
Black, please. Go to the mark, thank you.
The answer is yes. The ball is swept out to the midfield. Runners and shapes everywhere. Horak arriving in the centre, showing great strength before being enveloped by the hard-hitting Simon Rimac.
You okay, you okay?
The move emphatically shut down, but the Warriors still fizzing. Big, extravagant dummy ball, and Alex Young racing away. Warriors attacking with some real verve now. Knocked on in the tackle, so it'll be play on, but we may come back for the scrum. Advantage being played. Ruddick there, and well, the Devils will play. Game opening up a little bit now. Who will this suit? Oh, well, it'll suit the hard carrying of that man there. Speed bumping, Bohemian Warrior defenders. Run it straight, the order of the day. Ruddick milks a penalty,
He was going back.
and that is fantastic refereeing. He says Ruddick chose to play it like that. He said he targeted the lazy runner intentionally.
Number 4.
But on this occasion, there's no forgiveness for Lucas Hittil. He gives away the penalty at the breakdown.
4, roll away.
So not rolling away.
9. You have all the space to play the ball. I can't reward you for that, okay? You want to play fast, but you have the space, okay? He was going back normally. Roll away, 4.
Well, that's not refereeing that you see every day, and I think that has to be commended, that you see a lot of scrum halves seeing a runner looking to get back into possession, not intentionally looking to affect the play, and then targeting it with the pass. I guess that's part of the scrum half DNA, to be a little bit cheeky, to look to stress the law book, shall we say. But that'll be the last act of young Ben Ruddick, who has really impressed the 18-year-old. He spent 18 weeks out training with the Crusaders in New Zealand as part of their international academy this year. Played a bit of rugby for Shirley Rugby Club as well in Christchurch, and I think we are beginning to see the fruits of that 18-week labour down in New Zealand. So onto the field, Curtis Moucheron. Very experienced scrum half, and there's a lot of wise heads wearing black out there now. And the wise heads combine, and the speed of Julien Eguemont is simply irresistible. Razor sharp, slicing through the Warriors midfield. The Brussels Devils strike in deadly fashion. The man who plays for Lille Metropole in the yellow and blue has been, by and large,
that's the one,
a spectator to the action that's been unfolding in the midfield and between the packs. But when he has been called upon to work hard off his wing, he's had a profound impact. A classy break in the first half and a clinical finish here in the second. Conversion number 3 to maximise try number 3 for the Brussels Devils. Just as you thought they were beginning to creak, the Devils dig deep and they come up with a pressure-relieving try. And the second half of this young halfback pairing, Guillaume Fernandez departs the field after an impressive afternoon and with a 100% kicking record from the tee. But there's more action to come. Are there more twists and turns? The kickoff dealt with terribly by the Devils. And they're lucky to be afforded the opportunity to make the clearance, which goes deep. Horak will always find distance. A bit of wisdom there at the back. No rush for the Devils. Mark called, let's take the pace, let's take the energy out of the
I
opposition.
would have said something, but no. It's 10, you're fine, you're good.
And all done so with their captain off the field. Felipe Garrity, replaced by Delis Rivera Lafarga.
Okay.
And Henri Dequesne is installed at fly half in place of Fernandez.
Okay, done.
Well, it just hasn't been the Warriors' day as far as the line-out's been concerned. Not straight on this occasion, but a number of occasions, either not finding their man or having their pockets picked in the skies of Swanee. Interestingly, the Devils opting for the line-out themselves. Shortened numbers, 5 in there. They go to the tail, prime position to launch another attack. Oh, the tackles drop off and there's some tiredness in the shoulders of the Warriors. The ball finds the grasp of a rampaging Devil who's fell 3 meters shy. Incredible, desperate, scrambling defense from the Warriors. It looked for all money. It was try time for the Devils and a bonus to be delivered from Rivera Lafargue. But somehow the tackle arrived, somehow the turnover came, and Horak clears the decks once again.
Okay. Black here, please. Foarte strano. Acum da. Fine. 90s, so it's okay. No. It was a knock on.
Well, the line out has been a source of frustration for both sides today, hasn't it? It's been less than pretty, the aerial set piece.
Scrum.
And we revert to the scrum.
Yeah. Time off, please.
Well, it must be remarked upon, although there is a fair chunk of the game to go. These two sides met twice last season. What a beautiful arrival this was from Julien Egamont. So difficult to defend when the winger comes in from the blind spot and arrives with such acceleration. The Devils were victorious against the Warriors, 44-10 in the penultimate game of the campaign. That was in the semi-finals of the ranking rounds. And it was a similar scoreline in Prague in Bohemia's first ever home match, 43-10. But I think that you are seeing a much more battle-hardened, a much more competitive Bohemia Warriors here, but also a youthful Devils as well. Something that is a tenet of both these sides, looking to give under-23s a shot and looking to prime them for international action. Horak, tricky ball, awkwardly bouncing, finds the touchline, and it's a nice territorial gain, and this is the part of the field where the Warriors want to be playing their ball.
No, brought in. No, brought in. With scrum was out.
Pressure on the Devils' throw. Little pressure in the manner in which it's executed, though.
First man.
First man, the call.
All ripped.
The Warriors strip it in the contact. And Alex Young takes it at first receiver. Muscular and meaty character in the 12 jersey. Hittil. Again, running into contact up quite upright. Gets battered back and the Warriors find themselves losing meters. This is Budna. No way through for him. Homer. Huge man, Jakob Homer. The brute from Richani. Beautifully timed ball, bringing in the second wave of attack. One offload might do it. Horak steps inside when he had Quetzalcoatl on his shoulder. More the call. White jerseys pouring in to support. Down to the floor, they get it. Warriors will go again. Now there's numbers. Now there's opportunity. The one-on-one, the inside, outside. Pump action then. Horak for the corner. Beautiful pickup on the laces. The Warriors so close. Can Homer be the man to burst through and bring this contest back to life? Hosek, the captain. One more pick, one more drive, one more meter to go.
No.
Penalty advantage for the Warriors. They batter at the Devils' door, but Robin Vermisch is penalised for not rolling away. Hosek taps, careers into the Devils, and they have no answer for the might of Dan Hosek. The captain, the Warriors hero, gets Bohemia's second score. And there is life in the Warriors yet. Well, this second half has been a profoundly different Warriors that have taken to the field of play. They were backs to the wall in what was, by and large, a defensive drill for the first 40. But with this kick from Horak, they are back to within 12 of the Brussels Devils. It is game on with 10 minutes and a bit of change to go here in Swanee.
Yeah, sure. Take your time. Behind, please. Good, she landed.
The Devils kick long, just
Inside, yeah.
onto the threshold of the 22. Really awkward position to take a kick-off, but well dealt with by the Bohemians. A lot of numbers in the backfield for the Devils. They fancy a counter, a straightening and an injection. But some crossing in their ambition to go from range, and well, there's some tired faces and body language out there from the Warriors, but they need to start thinking now. They need to start thinking.
Behind, please.
One more score and we're in reach. One more score and we've got a sniff of a famous victory. Horak's boots. in terms of seeking touch has been invaluable today for the Warriors. He chews off another huge chunk of the touchline, and they're into the 22 again. It's one-way traffic, and it's coming in white.
Wait, block, wait!
To the tail they go, and Havel claims it at the tail. Immediately, the Warriors have momentum. It shears to the left. They maintain the form. They protect the ball at the back. The Warriors for try number 3. The Warriors run out of room as the cavalry comes in from the Devils, but make no mistake, Brussels are creaking.
Touch. Touch.
They are struggling
Touch.
to keep their line unblemished for a third time.
Time off.
We have to say that arrival there at the end from Luca Dublechat was in at the side. The direction of travel was certainly towards the touchline, and I'm not sure it would have had much bearing, but those are the kind of rash decisions, the rushes of blood to the head when the opposition are bearing down on your line in the final 10 minutes of the match, that can lead to penalty tries and even graver consequences.
We're good to go.
The Warriors have to put numbers up here. They've got to put men in the sky. They've got to make things difficult. Well, the lift comes in early.
Time on.
As the time wasn't on, so we will go again. Tom Colombe was the man sent up at the front. He goes up at the back. It's loose, it's scrappy, it's under real pressure. And how about that for a clearance? No time to hang around. The Warriors look to strike. Horak sells the dummy, looks to skirt through the challenge. Interesting kick.
Stop, 23, stop!
Have you ever seen that in a match? On the volley. Eden Hazard would have been proud of that in the Belgian football jersey, let alone in the Brussels Devils black.
Knock on, then knock on.
A crazy clearance at the back from the Devils, and it's worked for them.
No, each primo first. Da, număr, n-am avut nimic. Okay. Yep.
Well, we're shaping up for a scrum here, but all we really want to see is a replay of that volley with textbook techers that saw the ball pumped up almost to the halfway line. It is the Devils, and it's their scrum holding firm. The Warriors have found a second gear. The call of use it comes, and use it they do.
Stop, 6. You're good.
Devils looking to play rugby in anywhere but their half, and that is a fine, fine clearance. Horak shapes the kick, and he returns with some interest.
Retreat.
And now the Devils showing some pragmatism, but the pragmatism isn't rewarded because they go straight out into touch. So a line out to the Warriors, an error there from the Warriors, who reverted from running it back. Instead looked to kick the percentages, but they've come up with an error. Reminder that the action doesn't stop here. Today, this evening on Rugby Europe's channels, we've got Lusitanos against the Black Lion to come, and sadly for the Warriors, the line out lets them down again, and a bit of saber rattling follows Lusitanos of Portugal against Georgia's Black Lion. Black Lion, the only team to ever know what it feels like to have their hands on the Super Cup trophy. 3 finals, 3 crowns. The Lusitanos, one of those teams that they have beaten in finals gone by. It's a new format to the tournament, with Pool A being played in a 3-team tournaments. In the Iberians, Black Lion and Lusitanos, and with Lusitanos and Black Lion both registering victories in their opening matches, this contest will have a huge bearing on the final shakedown of that Pool A and who will be champions. That's coming up after this match on Rugby Europe's channels.
You went off feet, you gotta stay on your feet.
The game has truly broken up here. And there's a sense of opportunity for the Warriors. The Devils have lost all structure to their game, but the jackling jaws break down at just the right time. Penalty for the Devils, an opportunity to play some rugby in the Warriors' half. And with 3 minutes left, is that the Warriors' final opportunity to get the try to put themselves within a shout of a miraculous comeback?
You okay? Okay. Black, communicate, please.
A very entertaining game here in Swanee, following suit after the historic victory for Delta in Romania against the Wolves earlier today that took a last-minute drop goal from David Wiersma. Who else? At Boots has delivered many a famous point for Netherlands and the Delta in times gone by. And for the Devils, they look to put this game beyond any doubt, and they may just do so with their scampering scrum half. Some ingenuity, a bit of spark, and Curtis Moucheron puts the result beyond any doubt. There's no two ways about it. Moucheron and the Devils have been on the ropes. They've been under the pump from a rejuvenated Warriors in this second half, but they have managed to deliver the tries when they've needed them most. Just too much of a disconnect from the maul and the backline defence. And Moucheron, the 24-year-old, too wise and too fast, and getting a key try to secure the win. And while Henri de Ken sizes up this conversion, there will probably be time to play still. Swept across the face of the upright. And the significance is that the Brussels Devils are a try away from a bonus point here. Well, they may have scored 4 tries. Bohemia Warriors have 2. Brussels Devils 32, Bohemia Rugby Warriors 15. And as the sun and its dying embers shine down on Swanee, it is the Devils who collect, set upon by the Warriors. The contest unrelenting at the breakdown. The Devils looking to flash forward. One of their danger men, the try scorer, Egamon. Well, a lot of black jerseys running awkward angles, and they've unlocked the Warriors' defence. Chipped over the top. Off goes Martin Marin. Marvellous. Marin gets the score that delivers an improbable bonus point for Brussels. The Devils devastating in the closing minutes of this match. Finish with a flourish, and they'll finish with a bonus point too.
No. Hands up. No. Tempo gata. Da.
Well, he found a gear that no one else on the field of play seemed to have in their engine at this point. Dan Hosek working hard, but racing by. And it is a cruel finish for the Bohemia Warriors. But for the Brussels Devils, who have an opportunity to add another pair of points here. And do so in unaesthetically pleasing fashion. It is a case of job done, and done with a bonus point too. An entertaining contest between two sides that gave it absolutely everything out there today. Comes to a high-octane finish and a high-scoring 1-2. Late tries from the Devils put a sheen on the scoreline that belies a spirited and confrontational display from the Bohemia Warriors. But the final score here in Swanee sees victory for the hosts, and the Bohemia Warriors' search for their first victory in Rugby Europe Super Cup continues. Final score, Brussels Devils 39, Bohemia Rugby Warriors 15. Helter-skelter of a match, and there'll be dejected feelings amongst the Bohemia Warriors, and that of head coach Tony Brabec, who we are going to hear from now.
Thank you for sharing your thought with us. What are your first feeling after that game?
Yeah, we lost, so I'm a little bit disappointed. But I'm proud of our boys, how they stand up in the halftime. They try to best. We score, but final 5 minutes on the game, we just received 2 tries. So, but we can look forward. Yeah, is a step forward, but we need to improve. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. What will be the key point to work and to prepare the next game?
Yeah, as our lineouts wasn't good enough for this game. So we didn't create too much opportunities to score. First half, especially, we didn't attack too much, maybe 1 or 2 times. So we need to be better in the lineouts, in our lineouts, and have opportunity to attack.
Thank you. I wish you the best.
Disappointment, but as you heard there from Tony Brabec, a step forward, and that is a running theme with the Warriors. Defeats, yes. However, improvement, growth from last season in the Super Cup, as they saw last week against the Romanian Wolves. And certainly more to come from them as they face the Delta in their 3rd pool match before the classification rounds follow. So now, time to hear from the captain, Dan Hosek of Bohemia Warriors.
Thank you, Captain, for sharing this time with us. But what was the missing point to your team to win this game?
Oh, I think the first half we were basically just defending 40 minutes and we basically didn't even touch the ball. So I think we had like three consecutive like section with the ball. So I think that was the main issue in the first half. In the second half, yeah, after all we had the ball, we quite like scored as well. But yeah, the first half was crucial.
So for the next game now, what will be the key point to work and to improve?
I think we need to work on our back side of the team. Like some of the backs, I'm not sure what they were doing, but I think basically we need all to sit down and just review the match and say what's our strong, weak. Sorry, what we need to work on. That's the main issue now.
Thank you again. I wish you the best for next game. Winning team, winning.
A pretty fair appraisal from the Warriors captain there, Dan Hosek, in that they were backs to the wall for that first 40 minutes, but eventually able to flourish in the second. A cruel final 5 minutes, seeing the scoreline dragged away from them. Now, let's hear from the winning coach, Brussels Devils, Sebastian Goons.
Thank you, Coach, for sharing this time with us. But tell us, what are your feelings after that first victory?
After the game, we are happy to win, happy to score some tries, but not satisfied because we start no good in second half, and we can do better, I think.
Okay. What was the difference between the two teams to lead to the success?
I think the lineouts was the key of the game because we win all our lineouts and we stole a lot of balls. Bohemians win the territory in second half, but they can play it, they can through the game because we stole the ball in lineout or in scrum. I think the conquest was the key of the day.
Many thanks and congratulations.
Well, visibly pleased Sebastian Goons, and why not? It was a key victory for the Brussels Devils, who get their first victory of the Super Cup campaign of 2024. And they will have some confidence in heading to face the Romanian Wolves in their next match, which of course will be live on Rugby Europe's channels. You'll be able to catch that one on Saturday afternoon next week. So we've heard from the coach. Let's hear from one of the men who was in the thick of the action for the Devils out there today.
Not me. Thank you, Captain. Great game today. What were the key elements to your success?
I think we work really well in the set pieces. Yeah, we work, we give a battle, we play our structure, we perform better than last weekend. So that's all. I think we keep it disciplined in the first half. We score when we have to score. And yeah, then in the second half we struggle a little bit, but we come back. So that's why we win.
So you still have another game in Romania. So what will be the key element to work on and to improve?
We will try to keep the set pieces as we did, and then give a really big battle over there in the contact. They are really physical, so I think in the contact will be a really good battle there. The racks, the maul, and especially the scrum. Last year they have a really big scrum, so if we can contest that, we will have a game over there.
Thank you again, and I wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Big contest to come and a bit of travel as well, as both these sides go on the road next week, with the Brussels Devils heading to Romania, whilst the prospect of a trip to Amsterdam and the Delta await the Bohemia Warriors. fine day for running rugby here in Swanee, and one that delivered 7 tries, and most crucially that one at the end, the 5th to stretch the Brussels Devils to a bonus point victory, 39-15 over the Bohemia Rugby Warriors. Well, there was the scoring, and as you can see, it was all about the second half for the Warriors, who went in 20 points to 0 down at the break and really spent 40 minutes defending. But after that rapid opening score from Jan Wojtek, it really sort of gave Bohemia a lease of life, and right down to the very final moments they were in the mix to come away with victory. However, the game escaping them at the death. So Delta are top of the log, undefeated, 2 from 2 after that famous victory in Bucharest earlier today. The Devils are a point behind the Romanian Wolves, who are in second position. Bohemia Rugby Warriors continue their quest for a first victory in the Rugby Europe Super Cup. Well, the sun is setting in Swanee, but it was high in the sky for the opener of what was a really quite fascinating contest between two sides who know each other well, having met each other twice last year, and both came into this contest having lost their opening matches. It was the Devils who started the brightest, and Julien Egamont may not have scored on that occasion. However, he set up opportunity for his fly half, Guillaume Fernandez, to kick a second penalty. It was 6-0 the Devils led before finally they managed to bludgeon their way across the line through Jonas van den Bosche. Got a little bit of help from Jean-Sebastien de Hallo as the front row forwards went it alone. And towards the death of the first half, Guillaume Piron chose a perfect line that didn't get picked up by his opposite number, and the Devils were looking good heading into the halftime huddles, leading 20 points to 0. But after the break, within seconds, it was the Warriors, and it was their scrum half, Jan Wojtek, who latched onto an intelligent kick from Adem Martinek and really set the tone for a second half where the Warriors began to believe. The Devils still made inroads, however, the admirable scramble defence of the Warriors continued to keep them at bay, as well as a few handling errors too, as the pressure told. However, this arrival from Julien Egamont kind of stretched the Devils beyond the grasp of the Warriors, and you felt at that stage that the game was done and dusted. However, despite the flying wingers' effort, there was another score to come from the Warriors, from the captain, from Dan Hosek, and it set up a siege in the Belgian 22, one though that ultimately didn't bear fruit for the Warriors. And the replacement scrum half, Curtis Moucheron, scampered across to put the game beyond doubt, however, not put the match points beyond doubt. That was left up to Martin Marin, who latched on to a last gasp chip ahead. Electric pace, outstripping the Warriors' hard-working defence. And with that dot down and a successful conversion, the scoring was done, the bonus point was in the bag, and the Brussels Devils had the victory. Another fine afternoon of Rugby Europe Super Cup action delivers a bonus point victory for the Brussels Devils over the Bohemia Warriors. It was a thriller in Bucharest as the Delta secured a maiden victory on Romanian soil. But there is a blockbuster to come next. It's Portugal's Lusitanos against Georgia's Black Lion in Pool A, as both those sides vie for the championship. So do not go anywhere. More Rugby Europe Super Cup action is coming your way.